Hi there, I'm Jacob. All month long, we've been talking about love. Love is showing others how much they matter to you. But how do you show others how much they matter to you? That, my friends, is a mystery. That sounded scary. But mysteries don't have to be scary. Some of my favorite books are mysteries. They can get really tense and stressful, but there's always that moment in the end when the detective solves the case. You will find the guilty party hiding out in the school. What school, you might ask? Elementary, my dear Watson. I searched all over the neighborhood, Mrs. Jenkins, but I couldn't find your missing parakeet. My bet is he's been in his cage all along, or my name isn't Wikipedia Jones. The item used to chase Madame Lafarge away was none other than the spatula. All that's fine for a book, but it's a little different when you have a mystery in real life. In today's story, we'll hear about Abraham and Sarah and how God told them to leave home. Where would they go? Well, that, my friends, would be a little mystery. Ooh.
Too close. Okay. All right. I'll see you guys in a few.
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now, for an amazing story, inspired by the book of Genesis, chapters 12 and 15.
When Adam and Eve turned away from God and broke the loving rule God had given them, sin had entered the world. People no longer had a perfect relationship with God or each other.
I wish you weren't my brother.
Their family grew. Tribes and cities began to fill the earth, but almost no one followed God. People looked out for themselves instead of each other. During this time, though, one man did walk faithfully with God.
Noah.
Yes, God?
People have filled the earth with their harmful acts. I'm going to put an end to it.
God instructed Noah to build a huge boat.
I'm going to bring a flood on this earth, but I'm going to make my covenant with you.
God told Noah to bring his family and 2 of each animal aboard the boat so that they would be saved. Then rains came and washed over the earth for 40 days. And when the waters finally receded and new life began to grow again, Noah and his family returned to dry ground.
Thank you, Lord.
Then God set a rainbow in the sky and promised to never again flood the earth. Noah's family grew, and once more people began to fill the earth. Few of them listened to God, though. They had no room for God's love in their hearts, wishing only to put themselves first. In the midst of all this, God still had a plan to show deep, deep love to people. He chose a man named Abram who lived in the land of Haran with his wife, Sarai.
Abram.
Who is it?
It must have been a surprise for Abram to discover that the God of the entire universe wanted to speak with him. But Abram couldn't deny the compelling, loving voice that called him.
Go from your country, your people, and your father's family. Go to the land I will show you.
But I'm 75 years old. Why would I leave everything that I know?
I will make you a great nation, and I will bless you. I will make your name great. You will be a blessing to others. All nations on earth will be blessed because of you.
God wanted to tell a story through Abram's family so that people across all time could see God's love for them. But Abram must have been filled with questions.
Sarai and I don't have children yet. We're old. How can we have a large family? What will we do in the new land? How will we live there?
God gave no answers, except for God's presence, full of peace and love.
All right, God. We'll go.
Abram and Sarai, later called Abraham and Sarah, packed up all they had, chests and boxes, platters and blankets, sheep and cattle and goats.
Oh, Abram, I hope you know what you've heard.
God called us. I can't tell you how, but I know. His voice, it was so full of love.
But me have a baby. Just look at my wrinkles.
So Abraham and Sarah and their whole household set out on a very long journey. They covered almost 1,000 miles until they reached the land of Canaan.
Here, this is it.
Maybe so, but I'm still not sure about the baby part.
The land opened up before them, wide and rolling. Abram found a tree in Moreh that branched overhead like a sheltering roof.
God, we're here. We came all this way. What now?
I will give this land to your family who comes after you.
Thank you. I just needed to hear that again.
Carefully, Abraham piled up stones to form an altar in honor of God.
This will stand as a reminder of all that you've promised, Lord.
Over the years, Abraham and Sarah made their home in this new land. Abraham made some wise choices and some poor ones, but still, God blessed them with some very good things.
I won't say this necklace isn't beautiful, Abraham, but what good is silver and gold if we've got no one to give it to?
You know, God promised us a family.
Years ago. You really think I can have a child now?
I know it seems impossible, but...
That night, the Lord appeared to Abraham in a vision.
Do not be afraid. I am like a shield to you. I am your very great reward.
I know, Lord, but we still don't have any children. When I die, everything you've given us will go to a servant.
The Lord led Abraham out of the tent. The night sky stretched overhead.
Look up at the sky.
Abraham craned his neck to look up. Stars wheeled in the night, vivid points of light. They spun out in layer after layer, reaching into the vast depths of space.
Count the stars if you can.
Abraham's breath caught in his throat.
I can't. No one could.
As many stars as filled the sky, that's how many children will be born into your family.
God's voice was deep and sure, filled with the same love that had drawn Abraham and Sarah from their home years before.
Yes. Yes, God. I believe you.
It would still be years to come, but God in love would keep that promise to Abraham and Sarah. It was the first step in a plan to show love not just to their family, but to the entire world.
Abraham's life was full of mysteries, but he didn't let that bother him. God told Abraham to leave home, and Abraham went, even though he didn't know what God had in store. God promised Abraham the whole world would be blessed because of his family, and Abraham trusted God even though he didn't know for sure if the promise would come true. For us living today, God's promise to Abraham is no mystery. We know that it came true because thousands of years after Abraham, one of his family members was born in the town of Bethlehem. Jesus. God always had a plan to show love to the world by sending Jesus. You know what that means? It means God still has a plan to show love to the world. God has a plan to make things right. That's true no matter what's going on in your life or in the world. And you can be a part of that plan by trusting God and sharing God's love with others. You can help solve the case. If you suspect a person needs something, offer to help them. When a neighbor's in need, you can get to work. If someone is in danger, speak up and be on their side. The one thing to remember today is this: God has a plan to show love to the world. It's no mystery. You can trust God no matter what. Well, that's all I have for you this month. We'll be back next month with something brand new. You want to know what it is? Shh. Sorry. It's a mystery. See you next time.
Wait, what are you doing?
I'm eating breakfast. These recipes do not taste good, though.
I think you're supposed to cook the recipes.
Yes. That's brilliant, man. Cooking the book coming up.
No! No! John!
Hello, everyone. I'm John.
And I'm Brandon, and welcome to the So-and-So Show.
Brandon, do you remember those epic adventure books we used to read when you could choose your own adventure? Like the ending would be different depending on what you chose throughout the book?
I remember those, yes.
Yeah, well, that's what we're going to do today.
Read a book.
No, the audience, you all will get to create your own So-and-So Show.
Woo! That's right. We'll put the different options on the screen, and all of you, wherever you're watching in the world, will shout out your choice. We'll go with whoever's loudest.
Great. Okay, so where do we start?
Where do we start? Where do we start? Well, we have to go on an adventure, right? That's how all the books are.
Yes. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we need to
point at our lips. Okay, now what do we do?
Okay, before you go on an adventure, you need to figure out what you're going to wear. So I think we should dress like mountain climbers.
Well, that sounds interesting, but I think that we should dress like deep sea divers.
Oh. Okay, now it's time to choose. Do you want us to dress like mountain climbers?
Or deep sea divers? Start cheering now.
Come on. Come on. Oh, no.
Woohoo! Deep sea diving outfits it is.
The people have spoken. Let's suit up.
Yeah. Really?
Hey, who dives deeper than a shark? Yeah.
I just hope it doesn't mess you up on our adventure. You ready to go?
What? Are you kidding me? No. We haven't done any training. We can't just go.
No training? No, I think we should just wing it.
No, I think we should train first.
What? Oh, sounds like another choice for our viewers.
Should we train?
Or just go for it? Let's hear your cheers.
Oh, training wins.
So how do you want to train?
With a trainer, of course.
Did somebody say pickled jellies?
Horvath!
Yes, I am Horvath! Are you ready for some trainings?
Absolutely, we're going on an adventure.
Oh, where is this adventures you are going to?
Well, we don't know yet, actually, but, probably somewhere underwater.
Underwaters? Wow! Okay, first things first, we prep the arms. Okay, we swim. 1, 2, 3, and 8. And then we fly. 17, 18, beef, jerky. And then we do this 72 times, okay? Go! Feel the burn! Not short burn. All right! Good jobs. Next move, the water waivers. Are you ready? Here we go. Grab your nose. All right. Now it's time for the leggies. Ready? Hands on hips. Go. My right brain, left brain, we're communicating.
Whew.
All right, training's over.
Thanks, Horvath.
Horvath, that's me. See you all later. Clap, clap.
All right. Well, I think we're ready now. We just need them to decide where we're going on our adventure.
Well, I'm assuming they'll choose something obvious like diving by the Great Barrier Reef.
Oh, yeah. It's not like they'd say something ridiculous like climbing Mount Everest.
Now, why would you even say... Oh, man. Where's our adventure? The Great Barrier Reef?
Or Mount Everest?
Shout out your choice.
Everest!
Do we have to?
Well, we can't back down on our promises now, so Mount Everest, here we come! Let's go climbing to Mount Everest.
You had to suggest deep sea diving outfits.
You had to suggest Mount Everest?
It's Bible story time with Callan.
Hey, Kellen.
What's going on? Oh, where are you right now?
Mount Everest? Where are you?
You know? I really don't know.
You got a story for us today, Kellen?
Of course. Today, we're looking at a man named Abraham, or Abram, in the book of Genesis. Now, Abram was chosen to be a part of God's plan to show love to the entire world. And helping me tell today's story is our very own So-and-So Show players. Oh, thank you. Okay, no, actually, helping me tell today's story is our very own So-and-So Show improv troupe. Now, the players weren't given a script this week, so they'll be improvising or making up the story as they go along. And that sounds interesting. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt. The So-and-So Show improv troupe. Here goes. One day, God spoke to Abram and said, "Go from your country, your people, and your father's family. Go to the land I will show you." God told Abram and his family to leave his home and just go, without really knowing where. So Abram had a choice to make. Let's see what he did.
Listen! The Lord has asked us to go,
Where?
everyone!
Sorry. Where?
Yes, where? Don't know.
Well, no, what should we do?
I don't want to leave. Sarai, my wife, Lot, my nephew, let us build a log cabin on this land and live forever.
Wonderful!
I love you, Uncle Abram.
No. That's not what happened. But I can see how you might think that. Leaving your home to go somewhere you weren't familiar with would be a hard choice to make. But maybe if you had all the information, that would help. So God told Abram to go, but God also gave Abram a promise. God said, "I will make you into a great nation and I will bless you. All nations on earth will be blessed because of you." So Abram's family didn't stay.
Oh, yes. Of course, Lord. We will go, just as you say.
I'll start packing.
I love you, Uncle Abram. It's this way.
Abram believed and obeyed God. Even though they had lived in their homeland for many, many years, Abram took his entire family and their possessions and animals and left for the land that the Lord promised them. Can you imagine what that must have been like? So here's what happened next. Maybe.
This is it, the land of Canaan.
It's beautiful.
Come on, everybody. I love you, Uncle Abram.
What should we do now that we are in the promised land?
2 words. Dance party.
When they got to Canaan, Abram, Sarai, and Lot probably didn't have a club dance party. What did happen was that God appeared to Abram and said, "I will give this land to your family who comes after you." Then Abram built an altar to honor God.
I am building this altar, O Lord, because you have appeared to me here and you have spoken to me here. And I will always remember you and give thanks to you.
God had told Abram that he would have a huge family. But at that time, Abram and Sarai, well, they didn't have any children. So, sometime later, God spoke to Abram again. God said, "Look up at the sky. Count the stars if you can."
2, 4, 6, 8. There's no way that I could count them all. There's just too many.
Then God said, "That's how many children will be born into your family." So now, Abram's got another choice to make. Does Abram trust God and believe what God has in store for his future? Or does he not? Now, hopefully, you're about to find out.
I'm going to have more people in my family than I can count? Oh, wow. That's just crazy talk. That's just not possible. But then, God is, God. So that's a lot of kids. Am I going to have to change all those diapers? I just don't know if I can believe you on this one, Lord. I do. I do believe you, Lord. I have faith. This is gonna be awesome.
That's what happened. Wow. The Lord was pleased with Abram because he believed, and Abram's faith made him right with the Lord. The end. Let's give it up for the So-and-So Show improv troupe.
That's amazing.
God said that the whole world would be blessed because of Abram's family. That's a pretty big promise.
It sure is. It was all a part of God's amazing plan to show love to the world.
And did God keep the promise?
Yes. When they were very old, God gave Abram and Sarai a son. And from that son, their family grew and grew and grew and eventually became the nation of Israel. And many years later, Jesus was born into that family. Jesus was the ultimate fulfillment of God's plan to love and bless the whole world. And guess what?
What?
We get to be a part of God's plan today, too. Once Jesus gave his life for us, he made a way for anyone who believes in him to be a part of the family of God. Abram's family is still growing and growing and growing as more people believe in Jesus and share God's love with the world.
That's amazing. Thanks, Kellen.
Anytime.
Hey, see, wow, that was an epic plan God had.
Yeah, I'll say. Hey, which reminds me, reveal the question.
Oh, yeah.
When have you made a plan?
Yeah, just like God made a plan to love the world, I bet there are times you've made a plan to show love to people you care about.
Yeah, like surprising someone with a gift.
Or helping a friend out at school.
Or celebrating someone on their birthday.
Yeah, these are all great ideas. So when have you made a plan?
Hey, this was a good show.
Yeah.
I guess we should wrap up and go home, huh?
Yeah, unless you want to go back to Mount Everest.
No!
Oh, I said it.
Go ahead. If you say so, I'm Brandon.
I'm John.
And we'll see you at Mount Everest.
Mount Everest, the highest point in the world.
Is it?
I think so.
Oh. Is it hard to climb? Hit that shark out there?
No, it's super easy.
Oh.
Oh.
Are you okay?
I'm okay.
Baby shark! Baby shark! Baby shark!